Good morning, this is Dwayne. Today I'd like to talk about two different block chord style techniques in piano. As you know, there's many techniques on the piano. There's broken chords, and there's three ones, and there's two ones, and there's straddles like right. So there's also a thing called block chord styles, and there's two major kinds of block chord styles. The first one was made popular by Shearing, the great English jazz pianist. And what happens there is whatever the melody is. Let's say the melody is you're playing Someone to Watch Over Me. You probably know that tune, but even if you don't, the principle is the same. You play the melody in both hands. You play it with your little finger of your right hand and your maybe index finger of your left hand, okay? But you make the left hand note stand out. You go like this. Okay, so you're playing the melody in both hands. Let's try another song. Let's try that old standard orally that Elvis recorded as Love Me Tender. If I was playing that, again, I'd play it in both hands. But I make the left hand stand out. Now what you can do is make it stand out even more if you give it a little emphasis in the left hand. Like, not only play the melody louder in your left hand, but also you can sometimes slide up to the notes like so. Okay, now that sounds empty because we don't have a bass part, right? Now, if you have the luxury of playing with a bass player, then your problem is solved, okay? In other words, if you're a pro and you carry a bass player with you when you perform, then that's all you need to know, right? But if you don't, if you're playing solo piano, what you have to do is reach down and get a low note to establish the feeling like this. I'm sorry. In other words, establish a low root of whatever the chord is. In other words, if you're playing the C chord or any variety of it, you hit a low C. And then if you're playing the F chord, then hit a low F. If you're playing a G chord, play a low G. Okay? Now, you don't want to keep up that style very long, but it's okay for a phrase or so. For example, let me do it again, and I'll show you how to get out of it here. You see, I stopped the block chord during the break and did something else in my right hand. What you do else is up to you. I mean, there's lots of styles available, but my point is don't use that too long because you tend to bore people and so on, unless you're playing with a bass player, like I said. Now, there's a second kind of block chord style that people like Red Garland use, and that involves playing both hands at the same time, but with an octave in the right hand, like this. again, don't do it too long, then come out of it with something else. Okay, now you can do it as a single finger too if you voice your left hand chord in a voice of fourth. So you hit a low G and then the G seventh chord, but notice that F's on the bottom, the seventh's on the bottom. See that? Okay, so that's two kinds of block chord styles. Now, I didn't go in at very much depth, but if you pursue that, then find some videos that teach the block chord style and watch them repeatedly, okay? But I just want you to be aware of the two different styles of block chords on the piano. So that's it for today. If you enjoy these little tips, come on over to playpiano.com and sign up for our series of video tips. So hope to see you there. Bye-bye for now.